Yo, I'm not trying to take this out on anybody, but can I just say this? I know that I've always been talking about how I've wanted to play football again ever since I was playing football in middle school. And if it doesn't look like that, then sure, you can say that. But I used to play football back in middle school for four different positions, which two of them were all for the 2 seasons that I played them, and they were both winning records. And I still wish I could play football now, but things change, things happen in life, and you're not always able to meet up with those circumstances. But when I see these people talk about these players like they're some arbitrary and horrendous people in the game, like they're just terrible people in general, I don't understand what's the deal about it. You're criticizing a player for being bad in a game like their life depends on it. Just because they're a bad player does not mean they're a bad person. That's not how that works. If you're going to be a bad person, you might as well be a bad player because you absolutely deserve it. But if you're a bad player, that means that the sport isn't really made for you, but that doesn't mean you're a bad person in general. It's just that you're in the wrong area filled with hostile people. And it's not even just the fact that I'm taking insult to when there's criticism that is due for anyone who may not have the strength to play that sport. Like, we get it. It's not your strong suit all the time. But it is not the people's job to judge what you do and how you play, because how you play is how you are. And who you are defines what you do on the field. It doesn't matter what you play. If you play football and you play wide receiver or you play cornerback, the way your footwork is, that all depends on who you are as a person and how you know you can fit best. If you're playing if you play baseball and you're in the middle, you're a pitcher, you know how your hand works. You're just training it up to get it up to strength, and then you're trying out different techniques that you want to do because you know you're special at it. If you're playing basketball, you're a guard. If you can shoot, that's what you can do. Maybe you can't block, but that doesn't mean you can't score points for the offense. And I mean, like, you get all this criticism just because you're bad at one thing, and all of a sudden you're looked at as the most hideous person ever. And I don't get it. Like, take that out on someone else who's actually doing something bad rather than the sport itself. Like, you can talk about a player all you want for how bad they are at the sport, but you can't talk about how they're a bad personality at all, because that's not even true at all. Part of this is just because I look back and I just saw the whole conversation about this whole CJ Stroud situation. If you don't know, I'm a Texans fan, and I remember the Patriots game because it was bad. And I was like, well, that was a bad game. And credit where it's due, where it feels like CJ Stroud had part of what happened to it. But the outcome wasn't him entirely. The whole team does not run around CJ Stroud, believe it or not. It's like saying you are asking Jacoby Brissett for the Arizona Cardinals to run the whole team. That's not the person who runs the team. That's just a person who's involved in running the play that they're told to do and tell it to the other players. The job of running the team is on the coaches. And if you don't understand, then you got to get this. For what I remember out of that game, yeah, we threw 4 interceptions, but that's because the Patriots defense was just good. CJ Stroud wasn't particularly bad all over. He could still throw. He was just under a lot of pressure. And the whole problem about that is we ran the most simplest, basic playbook in all of history under a first-year coach who didn't even know what they were doing. I'm not saying that they didn't know what they were doing the whole time, but we were experimenting with it like this is going to be a run of trial and error. Like, we were in year 3 of DeMeco Ryans, and we are trying to get to the Super Bowl. And all of a sudden, we pick out an offensive coordinator who doesn't know much of what the playbook is going to be like for the Houston Texans. And the whole problem with that is we are trusting a rookie offensive coordinator with a defensive-minded head coach. and the defense was stout, but the offense couldn't get anything going. The blocking was bad. The run game was bad. If we had no run game, how were we able to win? Like, we could even go up front and push somebody to be able to create gaps in the holes of create gaps in the other team's defense where a run game could be established. It was all just running into a wall. And what was the whole playbook every time the running back had the ball? Run into the wall. You remember the Broncos game? You remember that at the 1 yard line, it was 4 goals that we had, right? The first play, run it up the middle, and we had Woody Marks. Second play, run it up the middle, and I believe it was either still Woody Marks or Nick Chubb. Third down, run it up the middle, and we had Nick Chubb. I know this for sure. Fourth down, run it up the middle, and we had British Brooks. Every single one of those failed. And the moment we tried to do a pass play in the red zone, it would always be intercepted or we would have to kick a field goal because our offense could go nowhere. Every other defense could just read it like the back of their hand. Like, look at the teams that we lost to. We lost to the Broncos, the Seahawks, the Patriots in the playoffs. We lost to, what other teams did we lose to? Early on in the Jaguars. And then we lost to the Rams. And I remember there's one more team that we lost to week 2, but I can't remember entirely. But our whole playbook was just one dimension. How was CJ Stroud supposed to open that up like the next Tom Brady and make the team run more efficiently? That's not going to work. He's only in year 3. Not everyone can be Tom Brady. Not everyone can be Peyton Manning. Not everyone can be Drew Brees. You're not looking to be this next Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Arian Foster, Barry Sanders. You're looking to be the player that you know you are. And that doesn't mean you're looking up towards somebody as someone you're going to try to take over. You're looking to be that person who can stand atop any other circumstance that you may be going through just to play your best at whatever you're doing. And I mean, you're playing with your whole heart and you're trying to play for the fans. Maybe not for the fans, but maybe for the team. Because you love football. That's all it is. You're not trying to play because apparently you just got forced into it. You're not trying to play because everyone was putting all this on you like you're supposed to be the next epic player. Like, you are who you are. Nothing else defines who you are except for you. So you can't have everyone tell you who you can be, what you can be, and what you're supposed to do. Only you know that best for yourself. And so if you know that about yourself, you know how you're going to play, and you're going to be the best at it. Whether it be bad, whether it be good. But that doesn't mean you're a bad person in general. You're just doing it the way you know how to. And that's just bottom line. If you have no logic behind your argument for something that has been consistent since day one, why are you talking? If you're going to be a bad person in general, don't even be on the internet. It's just that simple. Did your parents not teach you that the internet can be a bad place? If you're going to be there and just be worse of an influence than you already are, then you should probably give up your phone for today. Because that should not be happening. That's not how you become a good person in the world. That's not how you become a good person in life. That's not how you become a good person on the internet. Anything like that. You wouldn't be able to manage relationships, friendships, or even a connection with your family being a whole jerk and a half. That's not how it works. I mean, it was just a whole rant. I'm going to have to section this video up, I know. But just understand that who you are, if you're an athlete watching this, just continue to be who you are as a person and as a player. Don't let anyone who tells you anything about who you are discourage you from what you do. Because you are the only you that can be the best at it. Don't look to be this next epic player when you're not them. Just be you. And recognize that what you can do is different from what everyone else can do, no matter who you are, no matter how good it is, no matter how bad it is. You are defined as the person that you have been set to be ever since birth. No one in the world can tell you who you are, because they aren't the reason you're born. Your parents are. And your parents are only there to give you some guidance on how you could go about life. But then it's up to you on how you want to put that front foot forward and continue on with what you're going to do in life. And if you're going to play a sport, play it with all your heart. Don't play to be this fake, phony person all because you want to make the next great bill. Just be the person that people can know and love, where it doesn't seem like it's always a best decision on getting rid of that player because they're apparently so trash. If you're going to be a trash person in general and play trash, well, that's on you. I'm sure no one will really support you unless you change it up. But if you're a good person in general and you play like trash, that doesn't define anything but just the fact that you're either not suited for the position or you just might need to look elsewhere. And it's not against you, because you're only doing the best you can in something that you're either very new with or something that you're trying to get used to. Everyone comes from somewhere, and we all start from somewhere. So that shouldn't mean we're coming up here and immediately criticizing this person for having one bad year. Just one. It shouldn't take one, but it should take multiple. Because multiple is how you define a character, not just one. All right? Take care, y'all. I gotta chop up this video. But remember to stay awesome, all right?